Brother, sister, can you hear that? Our heartbeat cutting through the ether. Star drifters, can you feel that? One love can make us all believers. A generation of renegades, we don't have to stay alone. So brother, sister, can you see our light guide us home?
What is up, guys? It has been quite a while since I actually turned on a camera, or in my case, my iPhone. You know my secrets now. And so, first off, sorry about that. Life has been quite interesting lately in a good way. More on that in a few minutes, but I just wanted to go ahead and share with you a couple clips from a shoulder workout I did a couple weeks ago. I know, a couple weeks, right? That's how long it's been since I filmed. But I just wanted to talk about like how to address weaknesses in terms of like lifting. So we all have certain muscle groups that we feel are our strong muscle groups. We really enjoy lifting them. We feel really confident going into the gym, knowing that, you know, we have back today, or whatever your muscle group is that you feel really strong in, or certain lifts that you just feel really good doing. And then there are some others that you honestly dread because either one, you're weak at it, or two, you don't know how to do the movement very well, so you kind of just avoid it altogether. And so I kind of wanted to address that today because everyone does it. I do it myself included. I know if you follow me on Instagram, you know, hopefully by now, if it's not super, super obvious, that my favorite muscle group to work are my shoulders. Which is ironic because it's also my least, in my opinion, my least developed muscle group. And so usually, you know, your best muscle group, or your aesthetically your strongest muscle group is usually your favorite, right? And so for some reason, shoulders are just my favorite. I just love just about every movement it comes to shoulders, with with the exception of standing overhead presses. And that's kind of why, it's really the only reason I'm including the workout footage that you're about to see in. And so I'll go ahead and play that now and just voice over kind of what I'm going through and things like that. So yeah, so as you can see, the weight is light. I'm pressing 65 pounds and that weight stays the same throughout the sets. But what I really want to try and do, because a lot of people can throw up a lot of weight and jerk it around and bounce and really get other muscle groups engaged in certain movements. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing if that is your goal, to be like a functional athlete and things like that, which it is one of mine, but I want to really focus on this movement and focus on getting stronger in this movement. And so as you can see, I really, really try to keep my lower body still. There is a slight bend in my knee, and every once in a while, typically towards the end of my sets, you'll see me bounce just a little bit, but you do not see it exaggerated. I really, really try to keep these presses strict. And when I mean strict, that's exactly what I mean. Don't use any other muscle group other than the necessary shoulder muscles needed in this. And so I filmed this from several different angles just for you guys to see exactly what I mean when I say strict. And so yeah, so that's kind of what I wanted to hit on. When it comes to weaknesses, guys, everyone has them, and I don't want you to not do a certain exercise or the gym, or not work a certain muscle group just because either one, you don't feel strong doing it, and it's kind of, I don't know if embarrassing is the right word to say when you go in the gym, but you don't feel confident, right? And so you see a lot of people doing more weight than you, and it kind of is discouraging. So you don't really want to, obviously you don't want to flaunt a weakness, and so that's a lot of times why we don't work certain muscle groups or perform certain movements in the gym is because either we're not good at them, or weak at them, or we don't know really what we're doing as far as like proper form and things and like that is concerned. And so this is my encouragement to you guys. This is me being vulnerable and telling you that this is probably one of my weakest movements, is the overhead press, as far as a strict standing overhead press is concerned. And honestly, like, yeah, it was, I didn't really want to film it. I didn't really want to show it, but I knew I wanted to address kind of this topic. And so, yeah, I hope you find some type of encouragement from it. You're going to see a couple other clips that I did film from this workout, not my entire workout. I have a couple other ones after these presses, but just enjoy the rest of the footage, grab some ideas if you feel inclined, and I will catch you guys back here after these clips and talk more about what's going on in my life and why I've been kind of MIA from YouTube.
How long can you walk around without knowing? How long will it take till your faith is broken? Tell me, how long will you wait for the door to open? Well, I know we never really know. So hear me out. If you're running out of love, then I can fill you up. And when it gets too much, just hear me out. If you're lost in all the haze, well, I can clear the way. I wanna do the same. So long till the pain this heart is holding. What's wrong when the days we have are golden? Will you hold on while the world outside is frozen? Well, I know we never really know. So hear me out. If you're running out of love, then I can fill you up. And when it gets too much, just hear me out. If you're lost in all the haze, well, I can clear the way. I wanna do the same. If time's all we have, why are you caught in a rush? We were made to last. All that you are is enough.
What is up, guys? So it is probably about 2 days later that I am filming this portion of the video from what you've seen already. So one, apologies for that, but like I said, it's been pretty crazy around the Dixon household the last probably week and a half. And so there has been things going on, which is really exciting. And You guys probably think it's some like massive announcement, but it's really not. I mean, it's big for us, but it's not like that big of a deal. So let's back up to 2 weeks ago, and Bobby and I have been discussing for a while now buying a house. And so we're in an apartment right now. We just renewed our lease. And so our initial game plan was, well, let's just ride out this lease again for a year and then start looking to buy a house closer to when our lease is gonna be up. So that was kind of that. We haven't talked about it in a little while. Yeah, we look at houses now and then just because we want to see what's available. Anyway, long story short, last Tuesday, Bobby and I made a decision that we were in a place financially that we could go ahead and buy a house, even if it meant breaking our lease and things like that. And we both really, really, really want to be in a house. We're kind of over the whole apartment living, moving every year, deciding if we want to renew our lease, that kind of thing. It's getting old, right? I don't like packing that much. So that was last Tuesday. Talked to my friend who's our realtor I let her know that Tuesday. We met with her Wednesday, sat down, told her kind of everything that we were looking for, our budget, all of that stuff. Previously, we had already met with a financial advisor regarding buying a house, so we kind of already had that step taken care of, already had that connection. Anyway, so we sat down last 2 Wednesdays ago with my realtor. That next Saturday, that following Saturday, she showed us 7 houses. We loved one of those houses that we saw, and we put a bid on. And so that was Saturday night. Before us going to bed on Saturday, we got a counter, which was really exciting. And then Sunday morning, we countered that. They agreed, and Monday morning, we had the contract signed. So, within a week, we had, 1, decided we wanted to buy a house, 2, looked for houses, and 3, signed a contract on a house. And so that's where we're at now. So yeah, it's been pretty busy. It will be busy. As of now, our tentative closing date is September 1st, and today is, I have no idea, July 20-something. And so that's that. And that's why I've been kind of MIA on social media, on YouTube, on things like that, just because my free time has pretty much been dedicated to that kind of stuff, and figuring all the logistics out with that and going to meetings and things like that. So we're excited. That's our big news. Stay tuned. I will most definitely be giving like a house tour, and kind of our plans moving forward, but that's super exciting. And not to stress us out, we've already started packing. We don't have that much to pack. It's not super overwhelming, but we've already started just to kind of ease us into the process. But so tentative closing date is September 1. We are on vacation from August 25th to August 31st, and then we come back the 31st, and then we move in on the next day. So that's either going to be really nice or really stressful, one or the other. So being out of town the last week before we move in could be good. We're hoping to have everything packed up before we leave on vacation so that when we come back, we literally are just moving right into our house. Fingers crossed that that's what's going to happen. I really hope so. So that's exciting. The month of August is going to take forever because we're super excited to get into our house, and we want to go on vacation. So the next 4 weeks are going to drag, in my mind at least. Maybe not, but so yeah, so that's the update. Just wanted to fill you guys in. More to come on all of that. And yeah, that's the video. Hope you enjoyed some of that workout footage. Kind of hope you could relate to that message I kind of talked about earlier, just about kind of embracing your weaknesses and acknowledging them, and don't don't push them to the side and avoid them, but really acknowledging that. And I know I may have used a petty example of my overhead press, right? But that's just with anything in life, guys. There are gonna be areas, when it comes to meeting your goals, whether it's eating, whether it's exercising, whether it's sleep, whether it's drinking enough water, taking your vitamins, whether it's lack of knowledge, whatever it is, find your weakness and really embrace it, because that's how I've gotten to where I am today. Is I'm a very driven person in that if I don't know something, I'm going to go figure it out on my own. I'm going to do the research. I'm going to ask people. I'm just going to look into it, right? And so I encourage you to do that. I encourage you to find an area in terms of like your goals. And it could even be like work related, you know? There could be a weakness there, time management, things like that. Just find it and really work on it. And really focus on it. And don't try to tackle too many, weaknesses at one time, because that could get really overwhelming, and then that could really lower your self-esteem. Because if you're working on a lot of things at one time, as opposed to really focusing all your energy on one thing, the chances that you will actually succeed are a lot higher. You don't want to spread yourself thin when you're trying to really work on yourself. So yeah, that's wellness coach tip of the day. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. Just for kicks and giggles, to switch the thought. So I talked about my weaknesses, and that is definitely a weakness. But I have to say, if you haven't seen my Instagram, in the I think it was last week I posted it. I squatted my PR a year ago. So I haven't been under the bar with that much weight on it in over a year and a half. And so I'm going to insert that clip after this, just because I was super, super pumped about it. And so it kind of counters it. So yes, we have weaknesses, but we also have strengths. And I have been working on my squat for it's like getting back into where I feel comfortable for a year and a half now. I've had a lot of hip injury, or not injuries, but like impingements. My hips have just felt really tight. I've gone to a chiropractor over the year and a half. I've gotten so many massages. I've really been working on stretching out my hip flexors, and things like that, just because that is a weakness, and it has been keeping me from squatting like I used to or wanted to. And so I'm going to insert that because I was super pumped and hard. So enjoy that. Have a good day, guys, and I will catch you in the next video.